Hi, welcome. My name's Trish. Today I'm going to have a look and pull cards on Joel Couchi. So this is the Bondi attacks at Bondi Junction. So Australia right now is in mourning, as a lot of people are feeling very confused, feeling in disbelief. This kind of thing doesn't happen in Australia. So here I'm going to tell a little story about what happened to me on Thursday as I was travelling into Sydney. I'm also going to explain, I'm a crime reader, and one of the main crimes I focus on is the Idaho 4 case. Now the Idaho 4 case was 4 college students, 3 of them female, 1 of them male, and there was 2 other females in the dorm, so in the house. When these attackings took place, they were brutally murdered with a hunting knife. So you can see there's some correlations between these 2 cases. There's no connection at all, but there's some correlations, and here when I tell this story of what happened to me on Thursday, you'll be able to see why, to me, there's correlations between the 2. Now in the Bondi case that's happening right now, that's being investigated, obviously it's different because there's no trial here. The victim was the murderer was taken out and killed on site. There's also a lot of video footage around, so in the surveillance cameras as well as people's cameras, because it took place in a very busy shopping centre on a Saturday, first day of school holidays, so it was quite busy. Very strange. He was wearing Australian football jersey and shorts, so dressed in Australian national colours. Very strange. So it's almost like he was making some kind of statement. People don't dress like that when they go shopping in the malls. It's quite rare. So I'm going to do a reading on him and have a look at his energy and see what was going on there. But I want to talk to you about what happened on Thursday. So Thursday, 2 days before this crime took place, I was travelling towards Sydney, and I was shown a vision of a hunting knife, and then I was shown the knife being used. I'm not going to be graphic here exactly how I saw that happen, but I was shown vision of a hunting knife in use. Then I heard "get off her," and I said, "Oh, that sounds like Ethan." Now Ethan Chapin is one of the victims from the Idaho 4 case. He's the male victim of the Idaho 4 case. I have not been in contact. I haven't made contact before with Ethan. I have made contact with 2 of the other female victims, Maddie and Kaylee, but I've never made contact before with Ethan. Now Ethan came through quite clearly to me as I was driving, and I said, at the time I said, "I do not have cards to validate you, Ethan, to know that this is you. You're going to have to validate yourself in another way by giving me signs." Now anybody that watches my readings, you see I always do a connection first before I do every case I read on. I'll do a connection with the cards and see if I'm connected to a victim or connected to my spirit team to give me answers, and I ask for validation in the form of bringing through cards that relate to the crime or relate to that case, and then I know that I'm connected to that case, and then I begin the reading. So here, as I'm traveling along and I've had this very clear communication with Ethan, there's visuals, I'm seeing clairvoyant ability, I'm also hearing very clearly, so it's quite a very strong connection as I'm traveling in towards Sydney. And so I said to him, "You need to validate this because I don't have my cards. You need to validate for me by giving me signs." So when I look up, I see a car in front of me starting with the number plate C, and then to the other side of that, E. So I said EC initials, so Ethan Chapin is his name, and that was his initials showing me right in front. Then the car that overtook me on the other lane, it was ETH, and then the car after that was EAN, so number plates. So it was showing me that this was Ethan, and this was his validation to me that this is who I was communicating with. Now then I saw cars go past in a line, 4 cars. The first one had the number plate starting with an X, which is one of the victims, Xana. Then the next order was a number plate E, which is Ethan. Then the number plate directly after that was M for Maddie. And then the I thought, wow, if this is a K, I'm going to freak out. And the car next in line was a K, began with a K. So that's for Kaylee, victim Kaylee. So it was showing me a connection that I had to Ethan. Now I don't know why Ethan was coming through to me on this Thursday. I'm wondering if it was because he knew I was heading into Sydney or towards Sydney, and he was coming to me to prevent that, perhaps, or because him being a victim of being murdered by a hunting knife, and this was about to take place in Sydney 2 days later. So this was occurring. So somebody getting around with a hunting knife. He killed 7 people in total. 6 people in total, it could be. There's still people in hospital, so I'm not sure if that number's gone up. But targeting females, there was 1 male guard that was murdered. So there was 1 male and 5 females. Now the correlation I'm seeing between these 2 cases, even though they're not connected in any way, the correlation is the murder weapon was the same and the victim. So there was 1 male and 5 females. Now in that house there was 5 females in the Idaho 4 slayings or killings. So here I'm seeing a connection here, and I find it very strange as I'm heading towards Sydney that I'm getting this very strong connection to Ethan, and I've never had a connection to Ethan before. So I said to Ethan, I'm driving at the moment, I don't have any cards on me, so otherwise I would have pulled over and I would have got the message that Ethan wanted to give me, what he was trying to say, but I didn't have any cards with me. So I was driving, and I said, I will connect with you on Monday. I'm quite busy over the weekend, but I will make contact with you again on Monday and see what your message is. But then within this time, we've had this crime, which is quite similar, occur. Now I did prediction readings in April, and the last prediction was a disaster occurring which was similar to another one. So that was my 3rd prediction, was for April, was something going to happen that was very similar to something else that had happened, but different, similar. And I feel that this is what I'm hitting on here, is that the cases are quite similar. They're not the same, they're not connected, but there's similarities between the 2. So this is what's been playing out for me, along with intense true crime dreams have been happening over this week for me, but very, very strong connections here. So I am going to pull some cards now to see what was going on. So moving back into the Bondi case now, and back to Joel Couchi, and we're going to have a look at his energy to see what was going on with him, why he did this, and was he intentionally targeting female victims? So there's some of the questions that I wanted to ask, and that's what we're going to ask the cards today. So as you can see on the screen, I have my investigation oracle as well as my signature oracle, which is my deck that I use all the time. So both of these are available now on the website. The investigation deck did sell out last month, but it's back on order, so it's been ordered again and it's back up for sale again. So the website you can see there on the screen, Trishy James Oracles, and you will see all my cards available there for purchase. So let's get into this reading. So first of all, I always like to get a connection first. So this week I'll also try to make connection with Ethan like I promised, to see if there was a message that he wanted to bring through. I have deliberately said I am not making a connection with Joel. I'm not making a spiritual connection. I had that opportunity come up for me yesterday, and I refused. I said I'm not doing that. And I'm hearing now, even for the victims, I'm just not giving. Although I am trying to connect into this case, because I'm hearing a lot of chatter going on as well. So I am trying to make a connection to this case, which I feel I already have the connection because I've got the chatter already going on. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is mental struggle, and that's what I would expect this case to be, surrounded by mental struggle, somebody that was going through mental issues. The card of delay has come up next. Okay, so this is my initial just trying to make a connection here, see if I'm connected. What I've got here is I do feel I'm connected because I'm hearing a lot of chatter happening around talking about victims. So I feel connected to this case. So I will begin with the crime deck and find out what was going on with him. But I am seeing here something around anxiety, mental struggle, delays of some sort, so something that was on hold or not moving forward, something... it could even be like suicidal thoughts, even, is what I'm feeling perhaps could be involved here. Sorry for any trigger warning with these words. But again, you can see this is mental. This one here is mental and thoughts. So there's thoughts going on is where I'm kind of connecting this feeling. So one thing connecting on like strategy and planning around how he was going to deal with this situation of his mental struggles or his anxiety he was feeling, or putting some thought and some energy and some thought into what he did. So what he did, he planned to do that. Now he was reassessing something with plans to come back. So perhaps that's giving me the feeling like he may have been there previously to check it out, and then he came back. That's a very interesting card. So it says come back to it, reassess. So like, and around strategy and planning. So it's like, did he... Okay, was he waiting for the right time? Was he waiting for a certain person? Why did he go there and then changed his mind and then went there again? But it says you come back to it. So reassess, come back to it, strategy or planning. So maybe even he ran it through like a dry run, walked the building previously just to have a look at the security. But very interesting that that's come out. So let's get onto the crime cards and have a look what was going on here. So the energy here is very somber. My heart goes out to not only the victims' families, which I couldn't imagine the pain, and that would... I really do feel for you, but I also feel for the people that were there, because that's trauma. That's trauma. I saw a father walking his children out of the shopping centre with blindfolds on them so they wouldn't see the carnage, wouldn't see the death that was around. It's just trying to shield your children. That was the first day of school holidays. And the thing is, with all Australians, this doesn't happen. This doesn't happen here. So it's quite like a feeling of disillusioned or confusion. Like, this doesn't happen here in Australia, these kind of things. We see these crimes in America and we think, well, you know, these don't happen here. But strange things are happening, and our TV is just full of crime and all kinds of things now. It's like, I don't know, the energy's changing or something's happened. Just strange. And I think I often wonder with the... because I'm also an astrologer, so we just recently had the solar eclipse, and that energy is quite intense, a couple of weeks prior and a couple of weeks after an eclipse. So perhaps that can send somebody that's mentally unstable, can send them off the deep end, just with that energy, can be just a little bit too much. But getting back to the reading, now I wasn't asking a question here, I was just talking. This is it says ransom or note left behind, so I'll just put that one out, but I didn't actually have any questions at the time. Okay, let's tap into ask Joel Couchi why he done this, what was going on with him, why he done this, why. Okay, 2 crimes connected. Two crimes connected. So did he do something else? Now, the day before in Bondi, there was a stabbing in the Wayward Church, I believe it's called, in Bondi Junction. So there was a person there that was taken to hospital. They're okay, but there was a stabbing that occurred the day before this happened. I'm hearing targeted attack, but I don't know if that's like a hate crime. I'm also hearing hate crime. So whether it's targeting one particular victim or a type, being that female. Okay, so here is issues around safety. I'll just put this one here. Issues around safety. Definitely makes people feel unsafe now. Can't even go to a shopping mall. So it's raising issues around safety. And security guards have been weaponized. Okay, there's a missing piece to this puzzle. I'll just show you what these cards... okay, there's a missing piece here. More to this situation. Now, this card here is about justice, which there will be no... I don't believe there's a legal... He was taken down by a female police officer. It does say staged or framed drugs, alcohol or blood. There. So we're just going to pop them back in. Okay, Joel Couchi, why did you do this? Okay, resilience, slow process. So maybe it was slowly bubbling to the surface. Slow process. Now that's also very interesting, because I often wonder with the Idaho 4 case how one person, Brian Koberger, in that short amount of time could go in with a hunting knife and take out 4 college students. Now this case, 6 people were taken out with a hunting knife in a very quick, short amount of time. So this is what this card is making me think about. Now, there may have been some kind of confrontation. This is the underground card. But I feel like it's a dark place. So this one here is making me think like it's a sense of being, because you don't always have to read from the letters. You can read from the pictures as well. And what this card is making me feel like is somebody in a very dark headspace. There is light at the end of the tunnel, but they're not seeing very much light. It's strange because I'm getting delusional, the word delusional here, but I'm getting this feeling of outrage over something, a particular incident or particular thing caused outrage is what I'm feeling. Guilty. Guilty and innocent. Maybe it was all the innocent people and children and 9-month-old baby. Justice. Where's the justice? Around Joel Couchi. Hearing the word trapped in his own mindset, maybe trapped, feeling there was no other way out. Trapped. Actually, I think that's how they took him down. I think bystanders followed the police lady up and maybe trapped him. There was pictures of him on the escalator, kind of trapped by somebody with a bollard. And that's the energy that I'm bringing in there. It says accomplice had help. So, and this is the energy that I'm bringing in around him being trapped, taken down by the police lady. She was, obviously he was in a narcissistic rage. He was in a rage, and she did have people behind her, and she took him out. That's what I think the accomplice had help was. That she had help, even though she was alone. There was other police around her. There was some very brave men that ran in behind her. Okay, strategy and planning once again. Okay, I'm now going to say, I'm going to ask, was he targeting, because I was picking up targeted attack, so was he targeting one person in particular, or was he targeting females? Because he seemed to just let the males go by. And I'm hearing had an agenda, is what I'm hearing. Okay, so I'm just going to have a look with these ones first of all. Was it a target attack on one particular person, or... Okay, here is the fierce attitude, but it's a very strong female. Nest changes around his home or family. So some kind of nest change or something that occurred around him. Some changes around his home or family. Messages from the other side. So what I'm going to pull in now with the messages from the other side, I'm just going to go to my medium deck and just pull in any medium messages that want to come through, because the card there told me that there's messages coming in from the other side. So I'm coming into my medium deck now just to bring through any messages that need to be, or that you want to bring through. Okay, this is the independent card by yourself. Home change, relocation. That's really interesting because we just had the nest change, which just changes to home or family. Innocent children. My heart is yours. I am proud of you. What is wrong with somebody when they attack an innocent baby? Okay. Back to the crime cards. What was going on with him? Why would he attack an innocent child? Why? Anybody? Why? You cannot see clearly. Something around, maybe something he was watching or influenced by on social media. Sent him into a rage. Risk taking, put him into a like a cause. I'm hearing like some kind of cause that he thought. It's delusional again is what I'm thinking. Delusional. I think maybe he was influenced by somebody on social media. Guilty. Okay, crime of opportunity just is like not specifically one person. It's like people being in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's what crime of opportunity means. Not showing his true face. So there was more going on behind him than what... So he wasn't showing his true face. There was more going on behind him. Like, I know they're saying it's not related to terrorism, but what about extremism? Like, was he influenced by something? Judgment. Just pulling energy on Joel Couchi and why he did this. Here we're looking at social media, watching social media on the phone. Maybe that was some kind of influence. It could also be jealousy or cheating, or related to somebody like a female that unrequited, or issues around him. Now I'm coming over here to rumours behind your back, so that almost giving me that delusional thing where you're thinking somebody was talking about him behind his back. Maybe there was something going on social media behind his back. But here he has a dark motive or a dark intention. But it feels somehow related to either his social media viewing, because that's what I'm looking at on that first card, watching social media on a phone, or related to somebody, a particular person, jealousy over maybe somebody he liked or something. Guilty comes out quite a lot with these cards. I feel it's more than just saying he's guilty. There's a little more to the situation. Like hands are tied, shackled. Again, I'm thinking about the card that fell out, two crimes connected. Charging forward is what he did. I'm looking down now with the horse charging forward. That's what happened. He just ran through there doing this. He was either blinded by rage, disillusionment, but not seeing clearly. It says break free, feeling trapped. Time to get away is the bird card. It says time to get away. Letting go of heavy burden, sitting right next to that. Like he knew it was the end, like, but wanted to take other people with him. Okay, anything else that's important here? Okay, stage set up or framed. Could be that where I saw the card before where he reassessed it. Organised. So he's organised. I'm wondering if there's some other things that's going to be exposed here. And where I heard targeted attack, I'm wondering if it's one just with these cards. It just says inside job taken out. So someone taken out, organised, exposed secrets coming out, something staged or set up or framed. Very weird cards to come out in his reading because he obviously did it. Did someone push him to do it? Did he get set up or something in the background? Because you can see the card behind that card is the background card. So something playing out in the background. So it is making me think like inside job taken out. It's making me think like taken somebody out, organised to take somebody out. And then the card where it said reassess, he went back in to check it out. Maybe he was following a certain person. Strange cards anyway, very strange cards. I'm not sure what they're saying here. It's quite strange with this scenario. Okay, if I was to read these cards not in this situation. To me, this looks like something organised to have someone taken out to stop them exposing information. Somebody being set up to do that, so made to do that, or the whole thing set up. That sounds like a movie, so that just sounds like one person was the target and everything else was set up to make it look like a random attack. I'm not saying that's what's happening, I'm just saying in a different case I would probably read these cards that way. Just trying to put these into a sentence or a storyline on what's happening here. He was feeling trapped. It was time to get away, wanted to go, wanted to let go of burdens. They're on the bottom line. Charging ahead, full steam ahead to get out of his situation, to get out of his life, to let go of the burdens. Why take other people with you though? But here I'm seeing him looking at social media or looking at videos. With dark intentions or dark videos. Maybe that will be exposed about him. And maybe it was... I keep feeling this sense of like him going there and then going back. So was he waiting for somebody? Was he waiting for a certain person? Anyway, they're quite strange cards. So at the beginning of the reading, the cards with the mental illness obviously came out, mental struggles, and now we're getting cards of just feeling trapped and wanting to break free, wanting to get out of there, to get away, to let go of burdens, to let go. But then we see a lot of other cards that are guilty, keeps coming out. We've got social media now, we've got taking others with him or taken out. But he organised to be that way, and I feel like he reassessed the situation or put strategy into it, planning into it to be the way it was or the people it was. Okay, was it an attack on one person? Was it an attack on one person, or was this caused by one person? No. Did this happen because of one person? Did this happen because of... Just trying to figure out how to ask this question. What I'm getting at is, did one person cause him to do this? Did he target one person? Was this a targeted attack on one person? Okay, so it's just a, this is the challenge card, so he was going through challenging situation. This is a warning or a deception. And hibernate or quiet time, so, and companionship, this is consoling as well. Maybe this was some of the difficulties he was facing, maybe deception somehow in his life. A feeling of inwardness going in, that's like a person that's like a hermit going inward, not outward, which is what inactivity is. It's hibernate, quiet time, going within. A warning around deception or dark thoughts, because you can see this is a dark card. This is the darkest card in this deck. So like dark thoughts and challenging, difficult situations. So challenges around him is what I'm feeling. So would I say it's a targeted attack on one person? I don't know if that one person was there, but it feels like he was experiencing difficulties around loneliness, or a companion. With this card here with the hugging is making me think that, and the challenging, difficult situation. So I'm not actually feeling like it was a attack on that one person. Was this organised by somebody else? Was this organised by somebody else? Power given away, relinquished power, power given away. Okay, this is the deck that I want to ask that question. Was this organised by somebody else? Says not involved, so no one else involved. Undercover. Undercovers, but that's the star card with clues, but it says uninvolved or unaware. When I'm asking, was somebody else involved? Okay, was this just a random attack? Was this just random? It was an aggressive attack because he was carrying heavy burdens. Yeah, unaware of surrounds, people around him, just unaware of the situation. That's just making me think it was just random. Okay, thank you for joining me.